want to dedicate this march to Melissa Perez, who was shot by SAPD inside of her apartment while in a mental health crisis. We stand with her family and we condemn our injustice system for finding those killer cops innocent. Melissa Perez presente. And if you want to stay involved with the organization, Mujeres Marcharán, please scan our QR code on the programs and follow us on Instagram at MujeresSATX. And we have a great program for everyone today, so let's get started. Our first speaker is Mariana Aldrete. She is a part of the core leadership of Mujeres Marcharán now for 2 years and has spearheaded the Recounting for Accountability campaign and organized the data collection team, which are all volunteer-based, by the way, and taught us the principles of feminist theory to analyze and identify discourse, re-victimization in the media. We're so honored to have her as part of our coalition, so everyone give a round of applause for Mariana.
Hi, I am Mariana, and I am here to talk about the Mujeres Marcharán project Recounting for Accountability. I heard that we have here Judge Rosie Gonzalez. We're very happy for her to be with us today. The project Recounting for Accountability to stop femicide, trans femicide, homophobic murders, and all types of gender-based violence in Texas, but especially in our city, San Antonio. This project's main objective is to make visible the severity of the problem of femicide and extreme gender violence in our community. Femicide is a word that we do not hear much in the US, not in Texas, even when it had been so infamous when talking about the murders of women and girls on the Mexican border. But for some reason, we were left to believe that femicides were crimes that just happened there, and that we were safe and away from that kind of violence. Femicides are intentional murders of women and girls driven by stereotyped gender role myths and social patterns that discriminate against the female gender. When women are murdered by drug cartels happen, and still happens in the Mexican border, that is femicide. But women murdered by their partners or ex-partners because men feel that it's their right to own women's bodies and lives, that is also femicide. Women murdered by family members in their own houses, where they are supposed to be safe, and by the people who are supposed to protect them, that is femicide. Women murdered after being sexually assaulted, that is femicide. Women who are left to die because of pregnancy complications, who were denied an abortion, that is femicide. Intimate partner femicides and familiar femicides are commonly the result of a continuous violent relationship, including physical, sexual, verbal, emotional violence, and forced situations inflicted before the murder. When men murder women in these situations, they are acting with premeditation, treachery, and advantage over a victim who had been psychologically abused and convinced that no one will help them. All these crimes have two elements in common: misogyny, and that the perpetrator holds a political power that allows him to think that his crime, to some degree, is accepted and legitimized by other men with power. Like institutions that fail at helping the victims of violence before the murders, believing that women create false accusations to damage the image of a man. As women, we have heard this, men saying, "Go tell someone, no one will believe you." And the sad thing, this is true. Like police officers who underestimate the relevance of these crimes and carry out poor investigations, the legal system workers who disregard the victim accusations, and of course the judges who let men who have killed a woman walk away free because they are convinced by their excuses. The press, who publish the news of a crime with the discourses, contribute to making invisible the context of gender violence, the machismo of the perpetrators, and the indifference and negligence of the authorities. Every femicide in which the victim is blamed or the perpetrator evades justice sends the message that women can be punished with death, the impunity of the crime, and public stigmatization. The project Recounting for Accountability, created by Mujeres Marcharán, consists of building a feminist database that counts all the gender-based violence crimes reported in the news. This methodology has been used in scientific research and activist work in many countries and had proven to be valid and reliable. This is what we found. In 2025, 205 women between 8 years old and 73 years old were murdered in crimes that can be investigated as femicide in Texas. 101 of these women were murdered by their husbands or partners. 16 were murdered by ex-partners, and 16 by a family member. 38 of these women were murdered in San Antonio, which is a rate of 5.16 per 100,000 women in San Antonio, and 1.38 in Texas. If Texas were a country, it would be the 7th country with the highest rate of femicide in the world. If San Antonio were a country, it would have the highest rate of femicide in the world. Besides the femicides, we also found trans femicides, 2 cases of homophobic murders, 51 cases of femicide attempt, 110 cases of sexual assault or rape, 40 cases of missing or kidnapped girls, and another 70 cases of gender-based violence, including assault, harassment, child molestation, sexual exploitation, intimate partner violence, trans rights violations, and abortion rights. All of this happened in 2025 in Texas. The situation in our state is urgent. We demand justice for all the women murdered in femicides and for all the victims of gender-based violence in San Antonio, in Texas, and in the U.S. San Antonio, ni una menos.
Thank you, Mariana, for those powerful words. Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you. And then for our next speaker, we are going to welcome Lily. Is she here in the crowd? Lily from Saga? Is she here? Oh, okay. Okay, moving on to our next speaker, we are going to welcome Rachel Tucker. Rachel is one of the core organizers with Mujeres Marcharán, and she is part of many other different organizations around San Antonio. So give it up for Rachel. Woo!
Hello, hello. Let's start off with the chant. Ready? No more silence, no more war. Stop the violence, not one more. More silence, no more war. Stop the violence, not one more. One more time. No more silence, no more war. Stop the violence, not one more.
No more silence, no more war. Stop the violence, not one more.
There you go. Awesome. So, buenas noches and thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah. And thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Rachel Tucker. I'm an organizer with Mujeres March and Rally, Oppressed Revolutionaries for Worker Power, and About Face Veterans Against the War. Thank you so much for everybody that came out tonight, and to all of my friends and comrades that made this possible in San Antonio. So thank you. So tonight I will speak on social reproduction, the theory that everything we do on a daily reproduces our economic system of capitalism and our social norms and mores in which we live and which we all fight against that are here today. So from childbearing to education to working to maintaining ourselves healthy, to be able to work, our household maintenance, chores, keeping relationships and community, etc., all are part of social reproduction theory. But I want to extend that from the individual to the collective and what it means in terms of gender-based violence. And I also want to dedicate our action today to Asada Shakur, who died free but suffered so much state violence for standing upright and teaching others to do the same.
Sí se puede.
So, Asara Shakur, presente.
Presente.
So Audre Lorde wrote that there is no such thing as a single issue struggle because we don't live single issue lives. The struggle against colonialism and imperialism is an issue of sovereignty and self-determination from the individual to the national to the international, breaking the ties with individualistic ways of thinking brought on by capitalism and by its violent arm of repression meant to break the spirit of unity, liberation, and revolutionary optimism. We know their divide and conquer strategy. We know that racism, patriarchy, which breeds homophobia, transphobia, misogyny, and qualms with immigration status, are tools that ruling classes use to break our spirit and scare us into dark corners of silence. Capitalism's use of patriarchy first began over property, then developed into gender roles and rights based on those roles, creating the myth that men rule, and thus creating a system around this myth to be reproduced and maintained by might is right. Same as divine rights of kings giving settlers the right to rape and pillage our lands for gold. Manifest destiny, that God-given right to expand west, causing one of the largest genocides on earth of our native brothers and sisters. And the Monroe Doctrine, the U.S. giving itself ownership of the whole Western Hemisphere and treating it like its backyard. Shame. The ruling class creates myths that we see through and puncture every day, some through our existence, others through our analysis, and all with our fight for liberation. Gender-based violence is a product of the ruling class's mechanism of control, compensation for failure, and of power. It is maintained through social reproduction. This system relies on violence, then to quote-unquote save us from violence, they bring in the people of violence, so the cops, the military, etc., who are incredibly violent themselves. When our society is one created on violence, oppression, and exploitation, it is difficult not to reproduce violence. It promotes violence through endless wars, funding of genocide, attacking our houseless neighbors, locking up sex workers, and violently sweeping our streets to make them clean for incoming gentrification. Our TV shows, our video games, our movies are all violent. The U.S. is addicted to violence and femicide, intimate partner violence, and violence against LGBTQ people is rooted in the myth of masculinity that is ingrained into all of us through machismo, misogyny, and patriarchy. To invade a country, soldiers feminize the other. They demean them, all to make them deserve violence. In the military, women and queer people walk a fine line from constant sexual harassment to rapes to even femicide, as we saw with our sisters Vanessa Guillen, Ana Basaldúa Ruiz, Angelina Resendiz, among many others. So even in the U.S.'s most funded apparatus, domination and patriarchy role perpetrating and necessitating gender-based violence to operate. Yes, shame. Texas next to Florida leads with fascistic legislation that reproduces neoliberal, Christo-fascist legislation. They gave our public land to the military-industrial complex and to Elon Musk's kingdom. Texas led the way to the national overturn of Roe v. Wade in 2022 by reproducing conservative elites. Super shame. Conservative elite BS. Texas was a catalyst that pushed this to happen nationwide, ensuring to hurt poor women and people of color the most. This violence against women and people in general has led to multiple pregnant women and people dying due to not getting the care they need when they need it. The fascist pinche Texas government has, and I'm not Mexican, I'm using pinche because it's like that. The Texas government has pushed for anti-trans legislation, for the privatization of our schools, for the occupation of our cities, for the militarization of the border, and for terror to our undocumented siblings. Are we producing and counting on our fear, our silence, and our acquiescence? But are we going to stay silent?
No!
Are we going to hide?
No!
That's right. We're right here. And we'll stay right here. So as Mark stated, but we cannot be satisfied to describe the dismal situation. We must be committed to change it. When the ruling elite, from the local to the national, view public health as a nuisance, they advocate for more liberty for guns and women and perpetrate violence all over the world. Continuing might is right. The precariousness of violence will continue until this chain is broken with a government that is for peace and is led by the people. Women have had to become fierce fighters, and women belong in the fight because we are guerrilleras, because we are actors in our lives. We live in a society that is sick because our country is sick, and liberation needs everyone with all of our talents to make the system fall. We must stop reproducing this system, and we can do so by intervening in our own lives, and by getting involved, by not following their ideas, by joining an organization, and by being the force that uproots this system into a socialist one. So, peace if you're willing to fight for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. So to introduce our next speaker, Patricia S. Castillo has worked for 46 years to end violence against women and children, and is co-founder and executive director of the Peace Initiative, putting an end to abuse through community efforts from 1990 to present. She serves as an activist, advocate, educator, and technical assistance resource to the civil, legal, medical, religious, educational, human resources, and media. She's active in community coalitions and networks. She was the first social worker ever in the history of SAPD to work in the ranks of law enforcement. She was assigned to the Sex Crimes Unit of the Homicide Bureau. She did casework and program development for inmate women, their children, and the children's caretakers through the Bexar County Jail Match Mother and Their Children program. Internationally, she's trained civilians, professionals, and paraprofessionals in Honduras, Brazil, China, Russia, Guatemala, and Mexico. In Mexico City, she trained for the national networks of shelters. In Monterrey, Mexico, she trained staff in 2 women's shelter programs. In Cancun, she trained shelter staff and teachers and educators in Acuña. And the U.S. State Department hired her to work for them in Nicaragua and Ecuador to train personnel on issues of gender-based violence. Also, these trainings were all conducted in Spanish. She currently serves as one of the 3 tri-chairs of the nonprofit committee of the City and County Collaborative Commission on Domestic Violence. So let's give it up for Patricia.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. I'm very honored to be here tonight to participate in this first ever recognition of the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. This work is yet another layer that must be happening on a regular basis in our community. We have invested over $35 million in addressing issues of domestic violence here in San Antonio and Bexar County under a public health lens. But it's not enough. Our numbers are still the same or higher. And we have to be working in unison, and we have to be supporting each other's efforts, and we have to get out of our silos, and we have to be there for each other. This is not easy work. I know, because I've done it for all these years. and we can focus on the person standing in front of us, sitting in front of us, and help that person. Because when we help that person, it multiplies, it ripples, it has olas, and it spreads. So just like domestic violence can be spread from generation to generation, so can changing of our culture. So can changing of our patterns. So can the stuff that we can even find in our DNA that has been deposited there from previous generations. It doesn't have to stay that way. We can decide to be different. And tonight, we've chosen to be different by being here, recognizing the lives of all of these women and girls who have lost their lives to this culture of violence that is so pervasive all over our planet. But remember that when we change one person's lives, that multiplies. That has a wave to it. That has olas that spread, ripples that spread. And we've got to continue to be committed to it. I work with various organizations all over our community. Tonight, the Mission of Motherhood is here represented. And yes, the Mission of Motherhood. We're trying to teach, we are teaching moms how to parent differently without using violence, because that's another thing that's part of our cultura that we must give up, abandon, leave behind. No mas chancla culture. That has to be ended. That must stop so that we can change the brains of the children in the next generation. That is doable. That is something we can do. Yes. And we have to speak up about it and challenge it and not make jokes about it and not laugh about it. And that can happen, but we've got to do it together and speak up, speak out, challenge it, and change it. That's the only way we're going to do it. So thank you for being here with us tonight. It's very important that you're here. And this is going to be something that we do every year from now on. And get with us so that you can be a part of the planning and the ongoing work of peace, of creating a culture of peace for our families, for our community, for our planet. This work has global implications. Global implications. Never doubt that. And be with us. Muchas gracias. I don't know who's next.
Thank you so much, Patricia. So for our next speaker, we have Belle. Is Belle here in the crowd? No? Going once, going twice? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so for our next speaker, we have Molly here to read a poem. So give a round of applause for Molly. Woo!
I'm Molly. I'm a houseless advocate. And Terry Castillo knows me quite well. I'm unapologetically not violent, but very loud. Very loud. There is... I hate it when I cry. There's way too much femicide to the houseless women that we see, not only in San Antonio, everywhere, internationally, nationally, everywhere. So I wanted to read a poem about being female, houseless.
Do you need light, Molly?
No, I have it.
You're okay?
I have plenty of light right here.
Okay.
I'm sure, I don't know, thousands of dollars pays for this light, right? Rachel Marie Martin is the name of the poet. She was tired. No one could see the level of tired. They saw the outside, the one giving, smiling, showing up. And yet inside, she felt the fatigue, the tired of agendas, the tired of worries. But she kept on. She kept on giving and loving. She kept on living. She kept on hoping. She kept on showing up. She knew her giving, her fighting mattered. She pushed forward out of love, even in the tired.
Thank you, Molly, for those powerful words. For our next speaker, we have Araceli Herrera. Is she in the crowd? Yes. Oh, okay. So Araceli is a proud domestic worker and leader of Domésticas Unidas, a union for domestic workers in San Antonio, and she's also in the Coalition for Dignified Housing. So give it up for Araceli.
Gracias, buenas noches. Yo vengo aquí representando a las trabajadoras del hogar, que en este momento están viviendo mucha violencia. En las casas no solamente las secuestran, las violan, las ahogan, las embarazan, les dan mucho trabajo. Ahora están viviendo el terror de que no pueden salir o de que no pueden ir a trabajar porque la migra puede llegar al lugar del camión o la parada o el lugar donde trabajan. Y por esa razón estoy aquí. Pero la más fuerte razón que estoy aquí es porque es mi propia historia. Algunas de ustedes han escuchado mi historia, pero algunas no. Antes me costaba mucho trabajo contarles, más la había guardado tan profundamente que había olvidado. Yo fui violada. Mi hijo es producto de una violación. Tardé 40 años para poderle decir que él era producto de una violación. Ustedes no se imaginan lo difícil que es para una madre que su hijo la mira y quiere decirle, ¿quién es mi padre? Y tú le evitas su mirada, evitas su pregunta porque te duele en el alma. Estás muerta. Estuve muerta en vida por ese dolor, porque ¿cómo le iba a decir, hijo? No sé quién es tu padre porque fui violada por unos hijos de la chingada. Y no sé quién fue el que me embarazó. ¿Y cómo decirle a tu hijo que lo amas con toda tu alma, que es producto de una violación? Tienes que vivir con ese dolor, con esa vergüenza, con esas cadenas, con la gente que te mira y te critica y se burla de ti y te dice, tu hijo es el hijo del chile, y es el hijo del mole. Y tú no sabes qué te quiere decir la gente cuando te dice eso. La gente te hiere. Sé que ustedes, la mayoría, no me entienden lo que estoy diciendo porque hablan inglés. Lo siento por ustedes. Pero este dolor, aquí lo tengo y lo sigo guardando. Fueron 40 años porque mi hijo ahora tiene 50 años. Pero ¿saben cuál es el dolor que estoy viviendo en este momento? Fui violada y he cargado con ese dolor. Pero no termina. ¿Han escuchado la historia de una mujer violada que sí tuvo a su hijo? Apuesto que nunca la han escuchado. He guardado este dolor por 50 años. Ahora el dolor es que mis nietas de 8 y 10 años me preguntan, abuelita, ¿quién es mi abuelito? ¿Por qué nunca veo al papá de mi papá? ¿Se dan cuenta? ¿Cómo les voy a decir a ellas ahora? Ese es mi dolor que guardo. Ese es mi coraje y mi rabia de la violencia en contra de nosotros, de la mujer, porque nos violan. Pero no nomás es eso. ¿Sales embarazada? No nomás es eso. Tienes que cargar toda tu vida con ese dolor, con esa herida tan profunda en tu alma y en tu cuerpo. Porque ahí tienes junto a esa criatura que fue producto de esa violación. Ahora, ¿qué le voy a decir a mis nietas? ¿Cómo les digo? ¿Cómo les digo? Una mentira mentira tampoco no, porque a una criatura no le debes de mentir. Entonces ahora me toca no sé cuántos años más desviar la mirada cuando me preguntan de su abuelo, voltear hacia otro lado para no contestarles que no hay, que no sé quién es, que no puedo decírselos. Ese es mi dolor y mi coraje. Cuando estuve en Washington y perdimos, que esos malditos nos quitaron el derecho a decidir en nuestro propio cuerpo. Y yo digo, ahí creció la violencia en contra de la mujer. ¿Por qué? Porque no te permite tener el derecho de tú decidir en tu cuerpo, decidir en tu vida y no aceptar lo que tú no querías, lo que tú no pediste, lo que tú no buscaste. Ese es mi dolor y esa es mi historia el día de hoy, en contra de la violencia de la mujer, porque también yo, aunque estoy viva, estoy muerta de dolor. Gracias.
Thank you, Araceli. Muchas gracias. Okay, so now we will form a half circle around the display. So basically where we're standing, but just more circular. So if you are observing from the back, we invite you to come join us. We're going to do a song. We're going to sing Canción Sin Miedo, a regional Mexican song by Mexican composer and singer Vivir Quintana, first performed on March 7th, 2020, and written in only 9 hours. It speaks of missing women, femicides, and women's struggle for justice, and has become an anthem for feminist protests. We are thankful for Kayla Diaz, who learned to play this song, and the song for our performance after the march. She's been very busy studying, so she's going to graduate in December. So give it up for Kayla. And the lyrics to the song are in Spanish. They are found in the back of your flyer. If you did not receive one, please share with your neighbor.
Que tiemblen estado, los cielos, las calles, que tiemblen los jueces y los judiciales. Hoy a las mujeres nos quita la calma, nos sembraron miedo, nos crecieron alas. A cada minuto de cada semana nos roban amigas, nos matan hermanas, destrozan sus cuerpos, los desaparecen. No olviden sus nombres, por favor.
y esta quedará pagar las cuentas. Justicia, justicia, justicia. Todas las compas marchando en reforma, por todas las moras peleando en Sanato, por las comandantes luchando por Chiapas, por todas las madres buscando en Tijuana. Cantamos sin miedo, pedimos justicia, gritamos por cada desaparecida, que reclute fuerte, nos queremos vivas, que caiga con fuerza el feminicida, que caiga con fuerza el feminicida. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra a soror y de amor. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra a soror y de amor.
Alright, hi everybody, it's me again. We're gonna do a safety brief right before we take off on this tiny marcha. It's less than 400 meters. And so basically what we're gonna be doing is we'll be taking banners, we'll be taking all of the things that we have in front of us here with us on La Marcha. We're going to be forming up, so if the peacekeepers can go ahead and form up where we practice, please. Thank you. And so us, like with our banners and selves and animal, we'll form up in between them and then do a really small march and end up in the Riverwalk. So we'll basically end up right over there, across, but we're gonna take the streets because whose streets? Our streets! Damn straight. So stay within the boundaries that the peacekeepers put. We're going to be only taking up one lane, so please stay in the one lane. We'll be following all traffic signals, so please stay behind the banner as well. Did I miss anything? Everybody knows what we're doing? All right. And I need 2 volunteers to be banner holders, please. And we're also taking these banners that are with us over here by the tree. All right, let's go form up in between the City Hall and the Cathedral, please. Thank you.
asesino, es la desaparición, es la violación. Repeat. El Estado opresor es un macho violador.
El Estado opresor es un macho violador.
El Estado opresor es un macho violador.
El Estado opresor es
cuida, me cuidan mis amigas.
Policía no me cuidan mis amigas.
La policía no me cuida, me cuidan mis amigas.